Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Liverpool fans. Talking Reds is back. Red Zone is back. It's just myself tonight, but I am going to be joined by Harney just in just a second. Hopefully, not too long. But Roms is not here this week. Roms will be back next week for another episode of Red Zone. So this week has been a funny week. And international break is here. Everyone seems bored. Everyone's bored of the international break. We need Liverpool back, and Ham is here. As expected. So yeah, it's been a boring week, Ham. International break is here, but it's been quite a busy week off the pitch with Liverpool. Carabao Cup final. I don't really want to go over that again, but it is what it is. We lost the Carabao Cup final to a better team on the day. That drop-off's coming for Liverpool now with the same pattern they see every single season. The tiredness, the running into the ground, the lack of squad depth that we really have in quick terms of quality, not really there. It's starting to hurt us a little bit on the pitch now. Luckily, we are 12 points clear, which is a big, big gap between Arsenal. And luckily, that is Arsenal, I think, chasing us, because I think if it was Man City chasing us, I'd still be slightly worried about losing that title.
Yep.
And it's been a big week in terms of contracts. Still more news coming out of the contracts. Dave O'Cop came out yesterday regarding Trent Alexander-Arnold, saying Liverpool are continuing the talks with Trent Alexander-Arnold. The delay is solely not down to finances. So it's not just finances. Considerations are centred around the competitiveness of the team, amongst other factors, and the future direction that the team will be going in. Exactly what we have been saying. It's not just about finances. And we keep saying on here, mate, we keep saying on here, like, lots of Virgil, lots of Trent, lots of Salah, we'll be looking at this and thinking, where are we going here? Like, we didn't expect to win the Premier League title this season. No one expected that. We've done that. But do we build on that?
No, it's facts. I think just hearing that, I hope that's true. I hope that is actually the case, that these players are actually, considering these things. I believe they are, because they want to achieve greatness, especially with Trent, because obviously he wants to leave a legacy. He just doesn't want to completely finish his career with 2 Premier Leagues and only 1 Champions League. I'm sure he wants to add to it. I'm sure he wants to add to the trophy cabinet, not only for himself, but also for the club, because that's his boyhood club. But I like the fact that I hear the fact that it's not just because of money or contract length. There's a reason why these guys are not signing, because if you really look at it, they've had too many examples of this team having a great squad one year and then it completely falls off the next year. And I don't blame them, honestly. You got to ask these questions as a player, because you want to know that if I'm going to sign to you, if I'm going to commit to you, that you're going to add to this team. You know what I mean? You're not just going to leave me short-handed with these kind of players. You're going to keep adding to this group. You're going to keep adding to this team. So at the end of the day, I think that it's completely fair for him to be asking these questions and for him to have these, kind of conversation to see where the club is going. Because if the club is not going to want to compete for next season's trophies, for next season's title, why would you want to stay? That's just a waste of your time. Real Madrid, he can go to Real Madrid and win a title this next season, and the season after that, because that they're going to invest, and they're going to invest in the team, and their interest and their ambition is high. It's not low like Liverpool's right now. So I like the
Right
fact
now,
that
we're getting mixed with parts, aren't we, mate? We're getting mixed with parts. Louis Thiel came out and said that it's going to be a big summer, 4 or 5 signings that he's going to say. I mean, Lewis has come on here before. I'll try to get Lewis on again, but I think he's been closer to the club, and he's just being told what he's been told by the club. James Pearce isn't as close to the club anymore, but James Pearce has come out and said, look, sustainable summer again. And if we do sign Salah and Van Dijk on new contracts, it's going to take a big dent in the transfer budget. And I've been asking myself all week, how are they still getting away with this? Because the amount of money we save through Thiago, Naby, Fab, Endo, Firmino, all those players that left, Oxlade-Chamberlain, the amount of money we saved on wages then, the Caicedo bid, and then last summer we spent what 10, 13 million on Chiesa and brought in 60, 70 million. Where's the wages went up? Where's the money going? Where's the money going?
I really don't know. That's something
that can cover these wages.
Yeah, no, that's true. I get it, but it's kind of weird to me because um I'm no financial expert. I'm gonna keep saying this because I know there's Liverpool fans out there gonna be like, "Oh, you're not a financial expert. You don't know how what this club is doing." Blah blah blah. Look, at the end of the day, every single club has this. Arsenal's going through this right now with Saka's contract, Waneri's contract, because Ethan Waneri is he's not gonna sign any small contract, especially if it's gonna be a big because they're trying to give him offer him a 5-year contract. So I'm sure it's gonna be on good wages. They're trying to get Saliba tied down now as well. They're going to be on big wages. Do you think that's going to affect their transfer budget? No, it's not going to. So why is it that we have to suffer because you guys didn't do your job last year? You guys didn't sort these things out in the beginning of the year when you knew that these guys were going to the end of their contract and you knew that they were going to demand big wages because Virgil is on like 220. He's definitely going to ask for something at least 300 or even close to 300. Trent is on like 180. You know for a fact he's going to ask for a big wage because he knows how important he is for the club and he's vice captain and he's going to be captain when Virgil leaves. Mo, he probably won't ask for more money, but he will ask for a longer contract. So, and more bonuses on what he can do because he knows his ability. So, all of these things were clear to people outside the club because we're not experts, we're just football fans. We just love the team, but we can see these things. So, I'm sure these intelligent guys that are sitting on top of the board, they can see these things as well. But they chose to keep playing about, playing about, playing about, and playing about. And now you're in this position. Now all of a sudden you're telling us, oh, if these guys sign the contract, it's going to affect our wage, or it's going to affect our transfer money. But hold on a second. That all that tells me is basically you're saying to me is, regardless if these guys sign or not, our transfer thing was really small anyways. You're just using these guys' wage contract as an excuse to say this is the reason why we didn't sign a lot of players. That's all that's telling me. It just seems like excuses. It doesn't tell me that were willing to spend money, but because you're tying this, no, it just tells me that you wasn't going to spend money. But you know what? If we do manage to sign these guys down, we're going to use it as an excuse to tell fans this is the reason why we can't sign players. It's just stupid, man.
And the worst thing is, some fans will accept it. That's the worst thing. Even though this should have been done ages ago, and it's nothing to do with transfers. I don't think the wages have nothing to do with transfers. Not when we're breaking. I see every sort of every other week. I see a new record broken in terms of what the club's making money wise. Another one came out earlier, breaking revenues, constantly breaking revenues.
Yeah.
Money, making money through TVs, record sales, record t-shirt sales, shirt sales, record everything. A new Adidas shirt sponsor,
Where's that money
record
going?
breaking one, and it's constant. But we're not seeing anything put into the transfers and to keep building it up because we've seen this all before. It's all being played out before, and people don't want to hear it because we're top of the league. But
Yeah.
you didn't want to hear it when we were fifth, so you can't play that. You can't play the top of the league card.
No.
It only people's narratives only suit when we are top of the league because they kept very very quiet when we were fifth. They were
Yeah.
very very quiet regarding FSG, and I'm seeing it now already that the narratives are being created through these big journalists and the big channels. They're being created now. They're starting to put it on the Trent, trying to put it on Salah. I've seen a lot of Salah hate. Seen Trent. Oh, it's on Trent going. If Van Dijk goes, they'll turn on Van Dijk at some point. They've thrown every under the bus. They threw Klopp under the bus. I'm still seeing it now. I'm still seeing Klopp slurs, Klopp shite online. I keep seeing, oh, it's Klopp's fault for this. They'd rather blame everyone else but FSG. There's a big reason for that because they don't want to lose their credits, or even if they haven't got credits to the club, or if they haven't got links to the club, they don't want to admit they were wrong. They're
Yes,
doubling
exactly.
down. They're big
Exactly.
time doubling down on their thoughts on FSG.
And I think that the players see this as well. The players see this. That's why Trent, probably Salah, and Van Dijk, they see this, and that's the reason why they're having these conversations before they sign. Are you guys actually going to invest? Because I don't want to sign on the dotted line, and then you guys come up with an excuse. We couldn't sign players because of this reason. We couldn't sign players because of this. That is probably another reason why these guys haven't signed yet. because they're looking at it like you guys are not serious. You haven't shown me that you're actually serious to have an ambition to actually compete with the likes of Man City, with the likes of Arsenal, with the likes of Chelsea, with the likes of Man United. Because these guys, they're gonna go out there and spend big. And we don't need to spend big. We just need two, three
Yeah, yeah,
positions. We're good.
yeah.
So I don't get it. So I understand completely why some of these players don't want to sign because they're probably looking at it like, look, you don't have the ambition that we have as players for this club. You don't just want to play about, one day you compete, next year you get top four and you want to clap your hands. But no, we want to win trophies. We want to compete with these guys. And the only way we can do that is by bringing the likes of Isak in there. Is by bringing the likes of another great a centre half that can play alongside Van Dijk or that can play when Van Dijk needs a rest. Is by bringing a Kirkus along that can play left back. That's what you need to do, and by bringing another midfielder that can play alongside Gravenberch, that can compete with him, that's what we need. But these guys do not want to do that. So I understand it. Honestly, it's just a bunch of excuses, man, and I'm just tired of it. And like I told you last time on
Yeah,
Monday,
that's the word for me. I'm just tired at this point.
tired, man.
I've seen a lot of people actually turning on a little bit. I mean, the whole James Pearce article came out the other day. I saw people that have always been like sort of backing FSG, sort of like, oh, hang on a second, if they don't actually build on what we've won here this season, then maybe it is, we are too big for them possibly. I mean, the question at the bottom: will all three players go?
Yeah,
I've been very, very consistent on this. I've always thought Salah, Van Dijk will stay, Trent will go. But I've always said on the channel, every single time I talk about this on the channel, I said I'll prepare myself for the worst. Under this ownership, I will prepare for all three to go mentally. So I could expect that to happen. The way we've been run for the last, how long FSG have been here? 13 years, is it? 13, 14 years. They're happily to let these leave. And what I want to say, actually, would any other club do this?
no side in the big six would ever let go of a player or likes of Van Dijk, of
And the
Salah,
way they're playing
or
right now
Trent.
as well. And the way they're
Yeah,
playing right now.
not even they would never do it because at the end of the day, if you look at the market, let's say for example, if this was five, probably let's just say 10 years ago, fair enough, you can let them go because there was actually quality in the market. There was quality players that you can get to replace these guys. Right now, you look at the market, there is nothing even remotely close that you can get. Remotely, there's nothing out there remotely close to a Van Dijk. There's nothing out there remotely close to a Salah, and there's nothing out there remotely close to a Trent. Nothing. So it's going to be difficult. And if you are going to get these players, the only player that I will actually take on the right hand side is what's his name again? Is it Rafinha from Madrid? But that's going to cost you a lot of money.
Barca, you mean Barca? Oh,
That's it. No,
Rodrigo. You mean
Rodrigo. That's
Rodrigo?
it. That's it.
Yeah.
Rodrigo. That's the only person I'll actually take. That's going to cost you a lot of money, and there's no guarantee that he's going to perform in the Premier League. So that's another risk, So all of these things is just, it's like, look, what the best thing you can do for this club, as owners, as the transfer committee, give these guys what they want, show ambition, bring guys behind them that are gonna develop behind them, that are gonna learn from them. So when these guys do end up going, you really got backup, so you ain't got to spend any more money. That's the best thing you can do. If you don't want to spend money, as our owners don't want to do these things. Take a hit one summer and let it go, because in the long run it's going to benefit you because you won't have to invest in the squad that much anymore because you've already got players that are already there, ready to step up because they've learned from Van Dijk, they've learned from Salah, they've learned from Trent, so they know what they need to do. They know the expectation of the club, so they can go out and perform, be free without the pressure because they know if I don't perform today, I got Salah. I need to learn. There's certain things I need to work on my craft. They don't have the pressure. It's coming in and performing. Hence why Chelsea is doing what they're doing. They're failing because they're bringing in young players, inexperienced, putting them under a heap of pressure and expecting them to deliver. They're not going to.
What's going to happen though to these players? Say if like Van Dijk goes, Salah goes. Say we get just an example. Say we get Huijsen from Bournemouth.
Yeah.
to replace Van Dijk, straight up replacement for Van Dijk. What must be going through his head? Like, and I feel sorry for him because if they play bad after like a couple, say 3 games, if they play bad, the fans going to
Yeah.
turn bad, and it's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
He's never going to be the level of Van Dijk straight away. Or he might not even ever be the level of Van Dijk. Instead of like you said, being proactive and buying players behind them and then learning from them, like we should have been doing that. Salah's replacement should have been done ages ago. If we let these players go for free, and that was always going to happen this summer, their replacement should have been in a year, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've been saying this for a long time, a long time.
Yeah. Well, mate,
and it's going to get to the point. If these 3 players leave, mate, honestly, I think it absolutely exposed everything about the club in terms of ambition.
Yeah.
And what this then, the domino effect it'll have on players that we've got now and players that are potentially coming in as well, because Konate is obviously looking at his situation already. If these 3 players go, Konate's thinking, why am I staying here? If we're just willing to let our 3 players go like that, Salah the best player in the world currently, Van Dijk the best centre back in the world. If we're willing to let them go just by not paying a little bit more money, then why am I staying here if we're not willing to build on what our success?
Yeah.
And then again, transfers bringing in Alexander Isak, for an example. Isak's going to be looking in and thinking. In fact, I saw it the other day. I watched a stream the other day, and there were Rivals fans. I can't think who it was. I can't think who was TV it was. But I watched Rival fans talking about it, and Rival fans were saying, "Look, why a player going into Liverpool? Why would they be looking at the situation, thinking if they're letting the players go, why would I join them?"
Exactly. There
And that's
you go.
Rival fans saying that.
There you go. Honestly, like I really don't get it. Like this transfer window can have the biggest knock-on effect on Liverpool, either in a positive way or in a very, very negative way. I hope it's positive, but by the way it's going, by the way these guys are going on, how they're dealing with this situation, I don't see it being anything positive. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. I hope that we wake up one morning, Van Dijk has signed, Trent has signed, Mo has signed. Sorry about that. I just keep getting. But yeah, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Damon?
I'm here, mate. I'm here. Live streaming, guys. Live streaming. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you are watching live. Let me know in the comments. Do you think all 3 players will leave? Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent. It be like Hammond just said. It's a big knock-on effect to everything. The players that we've got now, like Konate, McAllister probably look at his situation as well. McAllister may go off at some point, and the players that are coming in, like Isak. If we're not going to buy Isak, but at that money, but players coming in, just an example. They're going to be looking at the situation thinking, why are they letting the best 3 players go? Why would I want to join this club if they're not willing to build on success? And it's annoying because I'm really enjoying the season. I'm enjoying what is going to be a successful season, 20th league title on the way. But it's this, the back of my mind is really, it's eating away, and it's like trying to take the enjoyment out of your season. But I really am enjoying the season. And I'm on Talking Reds here. We will always address the elephants in the room. We will always have the uncomfortable conversations. Just because the season's going well, we're not going to gaslight you guys at home. We're going to be having. I'm going to have a party stream when it goes on. When we win the title, I'm going to be absolutely loving every single minute. But in situations like this, when conversations have come up like this about the contract talks, about other players looking in and not wanting to come because of the players leaving and Konate potentially going, we won't hide from these conversations on this channel. Whether I'm not bothered about getting links to the club or whatever. If we get links to the club, then fair enough. But this channel will never change its ways, no matter whatever it takes us. If we have to sell our soul for whatever we want to do, I would never do that. With this channel, will always tell you the truth and always give you the uncomfortable conversations if it needs being. So yeah, Premier League coming up back next week. International break. With Ham international break. Are you there, mate? You're silent though. Have you unmuted your thing?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry about that. I'm just sorting out a few things, so bear with me.
All good, guys. Guys who are watching, this is the beauty of live streaming, the beauty of live broadcasting, whatever you want to call it on YouTube. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about the 3 players potentially leaving. Do you think all 3 will leave? Are you preparing yourself for the worst, like myself, which I have been doing for a few months now? Yeah, it is. Like I just said then, Ham. Basically, look, I'm enjoying the season, which is going to be a successful season. I'm going to be partying down when we do get that 20th title. I'm going to be absolutely loving it. I'm going to make sure I let rivals know as well.
Yeah,
but it's almost like they're trying so hard to take the enjoyment out of the season with things like this. But we're not going to hide from these conversations,
no,
regardless of whatever's going on.
We can't allow ourselves to, regardless of how much we're going to enjoy the win. We're gonna enjoy the 20th trophy, league trophy that we win. We can't allow it to, blind us from. Hold on 1 second.
Some conversations that need to be out, basically. Yeah. 1 second. So, guys, Premier League is back next week. Go on.
Yeah, we can't allow these things to happen because at the end of the day, that's what they want. They want us to be distracted. They want us to be, not focusing on the big issues. And we can't allow.
Let's get him back on. This is the beauty of live streaming. Beauty of live streaming.
Yeah, can you still hear me?
He is back.
Yeah. So, let us enjoy everything, but let's also be aware of what's happening, which is these owners don't want to show ambition, and the players are starting to see it. And if the players are starting to see it, that's really affecting the locker room as well, because they'll be talking about it in the locker room, in their houses, to their friends, to their agents, and players talk, and they can be telling this to other players as well. Look, don't come to Liverpool. If you go to Liverpool, this is what you'll be facing. This is the challenges and all of these rubbish. So, and you don't want that for a club. You really don't want that. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just hope it's something positive. I really do, because I don't know what's going on right now. We all think we're going to sign players. We're all hearing these, great players that are linked to us. But the question is, are we actually going to get them? That's the question. Are we actually going to get these players? Yeah, I'm in my car right now. So
I don't expect anything when it comes to transfers. My expectations are so far down here.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that it's like that, because as a big club, we should be acting like a big club.
Facts.
At the end of the day, go win a title. And Pep Guardiola did it. Alex Ferguson did it at Man United. Went and got Van Persie when he needed it. And it's just ambition. We don't have to spend, like Harman said, we don't have to spend 600 million. We don't have to spend Chelsea amount of money. What we need to do is just make sure our manager's got the right tools to go again. And we've already gone 2 windows about backing him, really. It's put up or shut up at this summer, and I think it's going to be pretty much. I'm not expecting much from it.
Yeah.
So, and it said, I put the question at the bottom here: will Liverpool drop off in the league? I'm talking about this season specifically in terms of, we have looked very, very tired in recent months, and we have been playing poor for the last few months. We've been getting away with certain wins, but luckily it's Arsenal chasers, and Arsenal just simply, I don't know, they don't have the mentality to keep up with us. The West Ham game was massive. I keep talking about this. The West Ham game, where they lost to West Ham, was huge, because if they had won that game, us going to the City game with a little bit more pressure, it's a different story. Gravenberch, Kanate going off last night injured. I don't think Kanate is too bad. Gravenberch went off. Alisson Becker went off concussion.
Yeah, I think.
Can we drop off in the league, do you think?
No. So I think the Gravenberch one, I think he'll be back. He should be back. I don't believe it's a long-term injury. I think it's something that's just a little bit niggly injury, but I think he'll be back.
Yeah.
Alisson's one. Alisson won. I think I'm not too worried about Alisson because we got Kelleher and he's been performing very, very well. So I'm not too concerned about his injury because I feel like Kelleher can kind of cover that side. And Konate, the French manager came out and said that it wasn't an injury. It was just tactical. He wanted to come out. Yeah. So, and to be fair to you, the less they play, the happier I am because these guys actually need a break. They need a break, really and truly. So, less they play, the better for it is for me. I hope these injuries are all fake and they're just all making it up so they just can get a break from it. I hope that's the case. But yeah. But yeah, I think we'll be okay. In the league, I think we'll be alright. It's just that who we got coming back? Is it Everton?
Everton. Yeah, Derby.
Okay. I think especially because it's at home, we just need to now we're out all competitions. It's just the league now. Just go for it. Every game, give her 100% because this is the only thing that you have going for you for the rest of the season. You know, there's no FA Cup, Carabao Cup. You lost it. You're out of the Champions League, and you have more days to rest, really and truly, because you're not playing that many back-to-back games. You're basically resting a lot of the times. So these players basically have and the club has no excuse for not winning this league. You're in a great position. You're 12 points ahead, and you just got one thing to focus on, which is the league, and that should be the priority, anyways. Which it was in the beginning, and I don't feel like that should change anytime soon. So, yeah, that's what it is for me. I just hope that these players come back motivated and more focused than they were, before they went into the international break.
I don't usually like international breaks, but I think this one's come at the perfect time.
Yeah, what happened?
Off the back of also the Newcastle game, the PSG game, I think we just needed to come away for a little bit, and get away and regroup as in their own countries a little bit, and then come back to Liverpool refreshed,
100%,
ready to go again. 9 games, 9 cup finals, basically. Only putting 5 of them to win the league. It does help that Arsenal is chasing us. I think we could drop off in the league, but I just don't think we drop off enough for Arsenal to catch up, and I don't think Arsenal take advantage of us dropping off anyway.
No, I think they drop off as well because I feel like they still got points. They still got games that I feel like they'll drop points on. The Chelsea game, Chelsea could have really. They've seen the blueprint of how to play against Arsenal. You're defensively strong. They can't break it down, and you hit them in the counter. They have quick players. I don't know why they didn't use that. Other teams will use that against Arsenal. They know that they ain't got attackers. All they have to do be defensively solid and just have quick wingers and quick attackers, and you hit them on the counter. That's the best way to beat Arsenal, and I think a lot of teams are going to do that. So I don't see Arsenal going flawless throughout the whole season. They're going to drop points as well. We just have to be in a position where we need to win our games, and if they drop points, they drop points, and not allow them to even give them a sniff of.
Let's
gain. Yeah.
And that's the only reason why I think even if dropping points, it don't really bother me too much because at the end of the day, Arsenal, it's not the City side that you have to keep winning every single game. But yeah, I do worry that drop off. I do worry about the drop off in the league because of the tiredness. The players are running to the ground. Maybe I'm hoping it's something different when they come back off the international break. If we see that same consistency in terms of tiredness, in terms of drop off, in terms of the performance is not good enough, and we've got Everton first game back. If we drop points in that, and then we've got Brighton away. I want to say I don't know why I want to say Brighton away. Let's go have a quick look. 1 second, guys. I will have a quick look. I do look at this quite often, actually. I'm sure we've got Brighton away after that.
Yeah.
I might not be right.
I will.
So a quick look. Premier League matches. Right. I'll get back to you. Everton, Everton at home. Fulham away, that's it. I knew it was an away game. So yeah, Fulham away after the Everton game. The two, if we drop points against Everton, Fulham is hard away. Drop points at home to Fulham. Very hard game. I don't want to give Arsenal a little bit of a sniff. I don't even want to give them a sniff of getting back into this. Because the way our players are playing right now, a little sniff could really hurt us. I don't think it'll happen. I've already put it out there that we've won the league. I've already put it out into the universe. So if we don't, then big egg is on my face, and I'll absolutely take it if we don't win the league from here. It would honestly be probably the biggest ball job, and I'd flip if I'm honest. I'd absolutely flip. But yeah, I think 20th title is coming. Regarding the contract situation, guys, it is a massive worry at the back of my head, and I can't get rid of it. And I'm sure Liverpool fans and Liverpool fans watching this at home will be feeling the same way. Look, we are enjoying the season. We want to enjoy the season, but we still are worried about the future at Liverpool Football Club, because if Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent all go, that is taking a massive backward step. And what that is saying for the rest of the team and the rest of people that are wanting to join Liverpool, it's a bit of a, we're not that serious about keep willing to build on what we've done. And it's happened at Klopp. It happened with Klopp. We weren't willing to build on what we won with Klopp, and it showed. It showed within winning the league and winning Champions League. Within a few seasons, we're in the Europa League.
Exactly.
That could happen again under this ownership, and that's just the way it is. Thank you everyone for watching. Harm is just about to by everyone that is watching, boys and girls, whoever's watching at home. Harm is, look, put your seatbelt on. Make sure your seatbelt is on when you are driving, and also use your indicators, because people that don't use their indicators do my head in. Trying to cross the road. I can't stand them. Everyone, thank you for watching. If you have watched, please get your comments in. Let us know what you think about Liverpool's league at the moment. Let me know what you think about Liverpool's contract situation. Are all three going to leave? And can Liverpool build on success this season into next? Thank you for watching. Have a great